What's up everyone, hope you had a great day. Lethal Concept here, and here I'm how to talk about how to build the Angarian Exemplar, the new character that was released in patch 1.08. So if you haven't decided what to build him or how to use him, I'm here to help with this video. So first off, there are actually, first of all, two main playstyle builds that you can actually use the Angarian Exemplar for, and then stemming off that, you can actually build him in three, what I would say, main variations. So first of all, the two main playstyles is that you can actually play him as using a weapon-based priming build. As you can see here, I have the particle assault weapon, and obviously you would pair this up with a disruptor ammo. And so what this playstyle is that you would use your particle assault weapon or a weapon that has a very fast fire rate and prime with the disruptor ammo, and then you use overload and energy drain to detonate them in like combinations. So then you use overload, and once you take a bit of damage you prime and then detonate with energy drain, and then you repeat the process over and over again. The second playstyle is that you actually use that power based priming. So you basically upgrade energy drain all the way up to extended drain, and then you detonate them using overload into energy drain or energy drain into overload depending on what you need. So say for example at the start of a match, you probably want to start off with overload to get the chain stuns and CC the targets even though you don't have debuff, and then obviously you take a bit of damage and then you use energy drain. Or if you already got hit and you want to use energy drain first, you just use energy drain and then tap overload to detonate. And after that, you'd actually use a very high powered shot weapon. So for example, you could use a sniper rifle like the Naladine or Inferno, since you're a power based weapon and you don't use a lot of power cell based abilities, since you can only spec, well, first of all, you want to be able to kill things with your detonations to proc one of your bioelectric focus abilities, and that is detonation feedback, which is killing an enemy inside your combo detonation recharges its powers by 50%. So if you used a power based priming build, you want to kill things that you detonate. So when you, obviously this isn't a very high damaging detonation since it's a tech combo, you want a weapon that can actually kill stuff after you detonate it. So you want a very strong weapon like Crusader or Sniper Rifle, or like the Yosef if you're using a pistol. And pretty much, yeah, since you can't actually do that really if you're using a weapon based priming, since most high fire rate weapons don't deal that much damage at all ranges. So Hurricane's really good at close range, but it falls off a bit at long range. Particle assault weapon deals average damage at all ranges, etc. So after that, I did say there are three main variations, and I have dubbed these in my quote-unquote own terms, so don't take these seriously. So the first variation is what I call the 6 base prime, and it's pretty much any upgrades from up here, and the main ones is retaliation and chain detonation. So the 6 base prime is basically, it allows you to have 6 ways of priming enemies. So overload actually primes by itself. If you didn't know, the stun from overload actually primes enemies on its base without needing to upgrade, if you guys didn't know this. So that's the first prime, and all obviously take up barricade, doesn't matter for these upgrades depending on what you take, and obviously electric defense, that's the second way you prime enemies. The third one is also energy drain, so you upgrade all the way up to extended drain, that's your third prime. Your fourth prime is chain detonation. Your tech combos now prime enemies in the damage zone, and obviously rank 6 your retaliation prime. That means that any enemy that tries to melee you or damage you at close range gets primed. Just excuse me. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then your weapon. No, I don't want to confirm upgrades. Your weapon also acts as a prime if you choose a high fire rate weapon like the Paw with a disruptor ammo. And that all in all gives you 6 way to prime, so it's a very combo detonation heavy build, and it really gives off a lot of pressure on the enemy since you're constantly priming, and you create a lot of areas of denials with barricade and your retaliation from close range, and you also got on-demand detonations with overload and energy drain and your long-range weapon. And also those combos also prime enemies, so it's a lot of fun. The second is a kind of damage recharge explosion. So instead of actually picking retaliation, you actually pick all the damage buffs, and this will actually help make it so when you pick detonation feedback, which is a main power upgrade for the damage explosion build, means that killing an enemy with inside the combo detonation, so this was proven that you don't actually have to kill the enemy with the combo detonation, you just have to kill the enemy inside the detonator, inside the tech field, to actually cause recharge powers recharging faster. So basically you probably want to max one of overload and energy drain, and then you want to have as much damage as possible with your explosion. And so this will mean that it will make it very easy to kill enemies while they're inside their field. Do a lot of damage with explosions, pick a high damage weapon, you kill enemies if they actually stay alive after explosion, and your recharge will actually make it so that you just have your powers up and up and up really fast, really easily. Now the third, which is what I actually would pick, is kind of a hybrid. So instead of actually picking, well, I do pick damage and force here, but instead of actually picking focus damage, I actually click electric duration. So this will mean that tech detonation zones will actually last longer, and this will help with priming enemies when they go into the actual area. And I still pick a detonation feedback because I still think that is the superior one to retaliation. This occurs every 10 seconds, and this can mean you can have your powers up multiple times in that 10-second duration window of retaliation. And so electric duration means that you have extra power effect duration. This isn't really relevant. This means that I actually don't know if this applies if the priming duration of, let's say, if you pick up extended duration, will actually help with the power effect duration. I haven't tested that, but I do know. So, but obviously this means that your zone will actually stay longer, and this will help with chain detonation, and means you can. It's really helpful for uploads and hack objectives, which is some of the more daunting objectives, and this can make it so that you have a lot more freedom, since you are constantly stunning targets, and targets that enter the field constantly get primed and stunned as well. Now, how to build one at rank 1 level 20. As you can see, my Angarian Exemplar is rank 1 level 20. Excuse me. So if you haven't, or if you didn't know, if you have a character at rank 1 level 20, this means you can only get two lines up to rank 6, and one line up to rank 5. Excuse me. Just as you can see here, I have 3 points left, and that means I can spend them on another line, or wait until I get enough, or rank up to get 6 points to rank up to rank 6. So you're mostly thinking that you really want both of these lines maxed, and you're pretty much right. Bioelectric Defense gives really good upgrade at rank 6, which is Bioelectric Ward, which gives your damage resistance when you hit every 15 seconds, which is really huge. So obviously you want Bioelectric Defense max. Now regeneration versus evasion, this is more of a personal preference, since this means you get more health if you dip low health and you're waiting for your health to regenerate. But I actually pick up evasion. If I dip that low anyways, I just pop a health pack, and I feel the extra movement speed, while negligible, it's okay, but I dodge a lot, so I just like the damage resistance while evading. This depends on your weapon. So there are a lot of weapons that are really great by itself, by the base, without any weapon upgrades or any damage upgrades from like your passives. Say like instead, like a weapon does great without apex training or munitions training or whatever. Like for example, Hurricane or the Dart. But you want a little bit more extra ammo, so you pick up capacity and reload, for example, because the Dart and the Hurricane have low base spare ammo, and that's the reason why you have this. If not, every other time you just pick augmentation. And then obviously Bioelectric Ward, and then obviously with Bioelectric Focus, this is what I would pick. Extra damage and force, and we don't take recharge here because ideally we want to be able to kill something, and this helps cover for the recharge we don't pick up here. Is pretty much what's there. And also this still gives recharge down here, plus 20% recharge speed, so taking the recharge speed here I feel is a bit overkill, especially if you kill things, because the way you recharge speed stacks, it gives diminishing returns once you have, because 50% recharge of a 2-second cooldown skill is just 1 second, whereas say if it's 6 seconds, 50% recharge is 3 seconds, so you shave off more seconds off for a skill that has a higher cooldown. If you already have a skill that has a low cooldown, which we will have with like 20% here and 50% once that procs, you're getting less seconds shaved off, or like less time shaved off, so this becomes less valuable over time. But we picked this here because you may or may not pick a weapon, and ammo and reload speed aren't game breaking upgrades that you really need. And then obviously you'd have 5 ranks left for one of your skills. Now, I actually don't think Overloader is one of the skills that you'd max, and the reason I say that is if you run a power or weapon based primary build, Overloader still detonates without charging it up, and if you're running a weapon based primary build, you really want to be able to charge up. I mean, you really want to be detonating pretty much just snap, just on demand, so you don't want to be charging it up. And even if for power based primary, if you use energy drain, you don't want the target to run into another area or run away, so you really want to just energy drain snap into overload without charging it. So overload is a skill that I would not max, even if I had a rank 10 Angarian Exemplar. And obviously what's left is barricade and energy drain. Now, I actually think for power based priming, you obviously want to pick up extended drain, so this gives you either overload into energy drain detonations or energy drain into overload detonations. And pretty much that's how I would build my Angarian Exemplar at rank 1 level 20. Now, if I got this at rank 10, I would actually go for this kind of, well, not effectiveness. I didn't mean to pick effectiveness first time. You should pick recharge for all your weapon based skills, because effectiveness, it restores shields and gives them more damage, but having more recharge means you can have those detonations up if your detonation feedback doesn't proc for stuff like boss mobs or semi-boss mobs, and I mean berserkers. They may take a while to die, so you really want the recharge speed there. Unless you want the damage, it's up to you. I'll just pick a hard damage weapon to make up for the lack of damage here. And then obviously extended duration, so this can prime as well. And then I'll pick team drain for the kind of team support play. Just restoring shields, just constantly restoring shields for your teammates. It's just very nice. And here for barricade, I would actually pick a duration over power cells. And here, this will actually be depending on your playstyle. So if you pick a weapon for its damage to actually kill stuff after your detonation, you obviously pick up weapon feedback. If you're actually going for the one power KO or one detonation KO, you obviously pick power feedback. This is more down to your playstyle. If you're playing a weapon that actually has a lot of damage and damage would actually matter, then you pick up extra damage here, or otherwise you just pick power feedback. And after this, I'd actually feel that if you have the energy drain at rank 5, then you should just go for electric defense, because this can actually stop anything that rushes towards you to try and grab you, like dogs, breaches, and this could mean berserkers that try to rush out, you can get stunned. This could also create an extra area for combo detonations. So what I mean is, if you stop one entrance with a area that's already detonated with chain detonation, and then you lay a barricade in another area, you're like covering two entrances at once, and you're laying 2 fields down there at once. So it's very nice to have. You could pick up shield regeneration, but I feel with all that recharge and all the detonations that go off and the recharge that you gain off of that, your energy drain will come off fairly often, that you don't really need the infinite shield regeneration delay. So I'll just pick up electric defense here, and this will be obviously my upgrade path for a rank 10. I'll obviously max out bioelectric focus, and bioelectric defense. Now for weapons, no, don't want Paul obviously one of the great priming weapons. For weapons I haven't decided what weapon, there's still a lot of great weapons. So one thing you need to take note is you may want to use a weapon that requires no ammo, since Overload and Energy Drain obviously non-power cell based abilities are just cooldowns, so you want to be able to run from place to place without having to worry about picking up ammo. Now for equipment, obviously he's not using Shield Enhancer. I just use Shield Enhancer because extra shields, always useful. You'd obviously want to use Engineering Kit to boost up the damage to actually reach that threshold when you one hit detonation kill them. For the, I don't know the actual upgrades name, for the detonation feedback. Sorry, excuse me. But so that's really it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope this guide video or like explanation of the playstyles that you can play around with helps you in determining what kind of build you want to use for your Angarian Exemplar. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you guys next time. See ya!